I'm there where the good Lord wants me to be, let me tell you this. And that is the greatest joy for anyone. But let me tell you this maybe as fast as I can to tell you how I got into that, what I'm doing. I was for 30 years the chief concert technician at Steinway in New York, and I worked with all the great pianists, but especially with Vladimir Horowitz. I was his piano tuner, you know, from that time on. I traveled we traveled the world, you know, but he traveled with his own piano, and I was part of the family. And until he died November 5th in '89. And but how did I get into that, what I'm doing? I'm so excited about this, you know. I come from music, and I make it as fast as I can. I grew up with music. Music was my world. And I guess I was gifted, I don't know. But my teachers always said, Franz has to study, you know. And I studied the violin. And we went to, we were 5 students going to the Academy of Music, to the music department of the University of Cologne. And we still went when the bombs were falling in 1943. Oh, this is amazing. But I never forget when we came one morning to Cologne. There had been a bombing raid, and our school was on fire. And I remember we left the violins in the street, and we carried out music. We had a wonderful library, you know, and saved what much as we could. But where there is fire, there is a tremendous wind. And our organ, we had a famous organ, a Kreis organ, you know, and the pipes were activated. And the dissonances of the dying organ I still have in my ears. Until there was a flute, high-pitched flute, which still was going, and it died too, you know. So we were destroyed, and then after the war, I studied 7 semesters at the Academy of Music in Detmold, and found myself as a violinist in the chamber orchestra. Okay, so music was my life, and I went over to the viola, and we had a string quartet, and I played the viola and the string quartet. But only to tell you that I developed tremendous problems with my left wrist. You know, playing the violin is a very unnatural position for the left hand. And I got inflammation of the left wrist, one after the other, which is very, very painful. I had to take breaks and tried all kinds of doctors and treatments. And I had to come to this very, very painful decision. I cannot be a performing artist. I have to do something else with my life. And can you imagine, the whole world broke together for me. I was already 24 years old. What do I do now? You know, but thank God, you know, if you trust the Lord, He has a way. You know, I was a Christian. I travel with my Bible. I owe everything to the good Lord. But and you hear this inner still voice. Just trust me, everything will be fine. And I saw an ad in the paper, in a music magazine. It says, still exists today. It's called in German, Das Musikinstrument. And there were advertisements in the back. And there was that old, and actually the oldest piano manufacturing company in Europe, which was Rudolf Ibach's son, founded in 1774. They looked for apprentices. And I thought, well, this still has something to do with music. Why don't I try it, you know? And I just loved it, working with my hands, worked so all the departments of piano building, and they couldn't believe it. And I learned piano tuning practically overnight. They couldn't believe it. You know, when you come from the violin, you have good hearing, you know, you create your own intonation, you know, you have just a piece of wood there, you know. That's amazing. And I got my diploma as a master technician already after a little bit over 1 year. That usually is 3.5 years. But you know, the ultimate dream in the music world, you know what that is? Steinway. And I applied for a job as a I don't know, there's a miracle that I got it even, you know, as a concert piano tuner in Düsseldorf, Germany, for concert management, knowing that all the artists play the Steinway. Okay. And I got the job as a miracle of a miracle. Because what I know now, after all those years working with artists and working with the Steinway piano, and what I knew then, I mean, it blows you away. It's a learning process. I'm still learning. It's amazing. It's amazing. And, well, I really fell in love with the Steinway. I said, wow, that is the best piano ever conceived in the human mind, you know. And a real love affair started with Steinway. And on invitation of Steinway, New York, did we come in 1962 to New York. Okay. We had, we came really, when the invitation came, we played about, oh, do you want us to go to America? Well, everything fell into place, so beautiful. We had to go, because we had two small children. Our Peter was 3 years old, our Michael was 3 months old. So we came to America, and we had got our visa in no time at all. When I went to Frankfurt, to the American embassy, with my papers and the invitation from Steinway and all this. And I immediately, he said, when he saw my papers, you know, he was a young guy, he said, I'm a vice-consul of the United States of America, he said, a vice-consul, and a very nice guy. And he said, do we need you over there? He meant America, you know. The whole country is out of tune. So we came to America. And we have been blessed, you know, and I became the assistant to Bill Hupfer. Bill Hupfer was the chief concert technician at Steinway, and the guy was a legend. He was a concert piano tuner, tuning for Rachmaninoff when he was 19 years old. You know, Rachmaninoff took him on tour. The Steinway got a little bit scared. He said, he is such a young guy, you know, but Maestro was sure. And Bill did all the tuning and traveling for Rachmaninoff. And Rachmaninoff has been very good to him. He always had a nice check for him and this kind of thing. But Bill retired, and I took over that position as a chief concert technician. Okay. And from Bill, did I inherit all the